Hi, gang. Join in. I'm only after just making it myself. I went out for a walk and it was lovely. I actually just didn't feel the time going, you know yourself. So I'm only after coming in the door and I'm out of puff now. I'm so looking forward to this, especially after a walk. I've just been outside. I hope everyone's well. You're going to start in sitting. So get yourself all set and up on your blocks if you like that, or you know best, whatever works for you now in sitting, and we'll take it from there. Nice and gentle at the start, but we'll ramp up with a little bit of heat then. Some new things, some old things, a bit of a mix, and I hope you enjoy. Right. Get into the zone. You're probably already there now. You've found a quiet space somewhere in the house. And I'd like you to close your eyes to start your practice sitting up nice and tall. And as we always do, let's try and bring our awareness, our attention, our mind almost in somewhere in here to our physical body. So our lives, our week is so full of jobs, to-do lists, the usual, you know. Your head is busy, like there are always so many responsibilities and so many expectations on you during the week. But I hope that when you slow down and have the time to do some practice like this, and when you roll out the mat, there's like an automatic sense of relaxation to that. There's an almost kind of natural vibe where you take a sec and you ask the mind, the busy part of it, the chatty part, to quieten a little bit. And we use our breath then to soften the body. So when the mind is already kind of tuning a little bit more into the physical body, it becomes easier and easier as time goes on to soften with every exhale that you take. It's always that exhale, I feel, that has the power and the signals associated to it to create a little more ease wherever you need it. So some people feel more of a need for it across the neck and shoulders. Some, it's a little bit more lower back, where you want a little more calmness and less activity at the moment. Often muscles and areas of the body get sore, become problematic because of overactivity, over tightness. So let's encourage with each breath a little calm down. Now, I don't mind one bit what way you're sitting, as long as you're comfortable, because we won't be here for too long. And I'm not treating this itself as a strengthening exercise. Sometimes I will ask you to do different things in sitting. Just now, it's about slowing down. And notice the sounds in the room with you. Notice the sounds close to you now, more like any sounds around the body, any sounds around your breath or heartbeat. And you can probably do this easily enough with closed eyes. Bring your hands together, link your fingers, and start to move your hands up to warm up and lubricate your wrist joints. So there's no exact way to do this. I often kind of think of exploring the range of motion, and if clicks and cracks and things come about, well, that just means that little part was a bit stiff, a bit stuck after whatever was going on for the day, and maybe hadn't moved into that range, into that corner in a while. So often you'd hear a little click or a crack when that happens. So you'll see that then, you'll feel it, like there'll come a point where there'll be no clicks, cracks, or everything kind of feels quite juicy and lubricated and brilliant. Same with shoulders. Give them a little roll around now. So you can move your hands into whatever position suits you. You can do one shoulder at a time, both together. Just gives them plenty scope for strange, weird, and wonderful movements. Just be thinking of, okay, what way now could I play around here and get and improvise and stretch? Oh, it's kind of like a little wake up for that area. And then we're going to go with feet, knees, and hips, okay? So just grab one foot. If you can, stick it up on top of the other knee. If that's not an option now, just grab it anyway at all. Just one foot and massage into the ball of the foot. We haven't done this in a while. So you're just using your warmed up hand, your thumbs, just to get in there to the ball of the foot, the arch of the foot. And I'm sure you know where I'm going to kind of move through here now, into the connecting your hand into the toes, which is often a tight stretch, but it's really valuable for many of the other yoga poses that you do in standing. So after you've done a little bit of massage work, it's opposite hand to foot, and your index finger, even if it's just the top bit of it, goes in between your big toe and next toe, and then you carry that one on and you connect the dots if you can. You try and squeeze, squish, insert, whatever way you want to think of it, your fingers just in between the toes, and then you can roll things around and massage things. And there's quite often a click and a bit of tenderness when you're moving through that range, but it's all good. Do you know? The foot needs it. Beautiful. Loosen it off, wiggle it around, and then we'll take up the other side. So any way that you find it comfortable to do this, you do it. First of all, the massage is useful. It's just so rare that we actually get at the foot like this, isn't it? There's been no pedicures lately, so just look after yourself. Get in there. Do your own little bit of work and massage on the foot. And when you feel like you've kind of, you've done a bit, enough just to spruce it up a little bit, index finger in between the big toe and the next toe, and then carry that one on. And get hooked, and then get moving. Oh, getting in there around the baby toe is a bit tight. So then we're moving. We're just twisting, twirling, no right and wrong, just pure free movement. And I know this is not easy. At all. I remember the first few times I ever did this, I thought there was no way I could spread out the last few toes. They were quite caught together, but they will change, they will spread out. You will get a little bit more range of motion there. And your toe mobility is so important, really important for your balance. And like down the line, I'm thinking like, keep stuff like this going from the point of view of preventing falls, trips, injuries. Keep it going. Okay. Release. That feels great. Just take those knees up to your tummy. Hug yourself, chin down. That gives you a lovely little back stretch. And then we get straight into knee and hip range of motion. So come onto all fours. You can curl your toes under for now. That could continue a little bit of toe mobility work and toe stretch. Knees together, actually. And then we're taking one knee off the ground and starting our little circles just to get range of motion through that hip. You can go fast or slow. If you're looking for a bit of heat and a bit of a workout this evening, go fast. If you just want to take care and cater for range of motion, you don't have to do any speed. Just go big. Change the direction. So the speed is really just about the cardio aspect of things, if you want that. Well done. Let's change sides. So a little bit of knee movement first of all. And then create as big a circle as you can and choose your speed depending on your energy levels. If you want a little energy kick, really go for it. Go to town, go as fast as you can. Changing your direction then, starting slow. Try to keep your elbows strong, your breath steady. Not easy. Gosh, that's glutey, isn't it? Really feel that in the hips. Brilliant. Now back off with your toes curled under. Back if you can to a version of child's pose. Now when you have the toes curled under, it's a big toe stretch, so hopefully it's comfortable enough. Walk your hands forward and let your head come low. Now when your hands are forward, as far as you can take them, you will be feeling a side body stretch, an underarm area stretch. And that can be deepened by simply actively pressing your hands into the mat. So if you push all your fingers down to the mat, palms into the mat, you'll feel quite a strong upper body stretch. And here's an extra thing to try if you want to go further with this. Try without moving your hands to tug your hands towards your body. And you'll feel a very strong shoulder blade strength activity. So by trying to tug your hands back towards your body, the shoulder blades are getting a serious bit of action. A lot of muscles around there working hard to try and do that. Now take the pressure off again. Amazing. Take the left leg forward, right knee back as far as you can go. And if you have your blocks nearby, brilliant. If you don't really need them. You could have your hands on the floor. I like the blocks, as I've said often, because it allows you to keep your back upright when you don't necessarily have to be rounded. So we're going to flow forwards, as far forwards as we can, getting a nice hip stretch, and then work our way back to find a hamstring stretch. Now your back foot could be relaxed. You can sit all the way back onto your heel if you like. Come forwards again. I need you to figure out with this one where your kind of comfort zone is. How far back are you comfortable going? Some people won't like the idea of sitting back there. It's too much pressure on the knee joint. So you could just be here, and that's not a problem. You always will tailor and adjust every exercise you ever do to suit that side of your body. It might be totally different on the other side, but when you're doing therapeutic movement like this, you start to learn a lot about your body, and you start to figure out where it's okay to push, and where you should maybe hold back a little bit. Rule of thumb would always be no joint pain. So no pain, hip, knee, back, joints, into the bones, into the joints. Muscular stretch is great. Muscle strength, heat, that's great. As you get more experienced, you will pick up on the difference between the two. Okay, we do the other side. That feels lovely and loose now. Other side. So just at your own pace now. So you could have your hands on the floor, not a problem, but then your back would be rounded a little bit. Not that that's a big deal, but often most of us have spent time at a desk or a computer today, and we don't need to round our back when we're in class. We could do with probably the opposite, extending and straightening the spine to give it space. It might vary each time you do this, You might feel quite happy sitting on your back foot at one rep, and you mightn't feel it on another rep. So we're just kind of exploring, mobilizing dynamically. That just means you're kind of on the move with your mobility work now. If there's clicks, that's fine. Clicks are grand. Clicks they're just there. Not causing pain, all good. Now, coming back to all fours, I'm going to change my position so you can see what I want you to do now in a moment. In all fours, you're going to just do a few cat and cows. That way you'll just get that lovely space through your back. That's so worthwhile doing. Take a few moments to let your body unravel and gently stretch out through the most basic of mobility moves, cat and cow. Now we find our neutral spine, that's the halfway point, okay? That's neither cat nor cow, it's a straight back, and we're going to move one leg out to the side. So it'll likely be off the mat. I'm just doing this from a space point of view. Now the two arms will come all the way up to your waist and hips. And already I'm imagining, maybe there's a bit of a groin stretch there. What I'd like is the toes pointing straight ahead, the heel and the knee fairly lined up, and most of your foot pressure on the baby toe side of that foot. You feel the difference when you add that in. It's quite big. Arms reach all the way up to the sky, big breath in, and then exhale, hands to heart center. Brilliant. We've got 3 arm movements like that now. Breath in. Exhale, hands to heart center. You have it. Big breath in. Exhale, hands to heart center. Fantastic. Just leave one hand rest on your hip, the leg that's on the side. The other arm reaches up to the ceiling. Now, the back foot behind you, can you anchor that down firm to the floor? At the same time, reach the top arm up. Squeeze your bum cheeks a little and then lean over. So we've got back foot as an anchor, baby toe side of this long foot, your breath, glutes a little bit, little tailbone tucked down, always nice for the lower back here. Okay, great. And then windmill the arms all the way over and out to the floor. You can have your fingertips, fist, or your palm on the floor. Look up if you can, reach the top hand. Keep anchoring the back foot down. What an amount of space there for your waist and outer hip, lateral hip. Brilliant. If you want to take this a step further, try floating the long leg off the ground, even if it's just an inch off the ground. If you can take it up higher, go for it. That's my height at the moment. It just feels a little strong. Maybe I was walking too fast. Who knows? That's amazing. Come all the way back. Oh, hands to the mat. And now try a cat and cow in that position. And you'll feel a completely big, huge stretch all the way up through the adductors, the inner thighs of the leg that's out. Great. Just 1 or 2 more, just to get the real value out of that stretch and position. Keep the shoulders nice and relaxed, nice and soft. And then take the legs in. But before you do the next side, get into your stable neutral spine position. Curl the toes under for a moment. Let's do a core exercise here. Big breath in and breath out. Hover your knees off the mat. Pause here. So your knees are about 1 inch off the mat. That's all. Push the mat away. Get really strong in your upper body here. Keep the neck relaxed. Breathe. And then we lower the knees, point the feet, and take the opposite leg out to the side. Yeah? Baby toe side now is down. You're up tall. Now we take the big breaths again. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Off we go again up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Third one, big one. Exhale, hands to heart center. Pause here now for a breath. Reactivate the baby toe side of that long foot down, the back foot down as well. Little squeeze to the bum cheeks. One hand can rest on your hip. The other one is reaching up. Now get in there to that stretch. So take a big breath to really maximize the effect. And then you're leaning over to the side a little bit. Baby toe side, pressing down, long foot, back foot, anchoring down too. Glutes on a little bit for sure. And then the windmill effect. Over you go, all the way over to the side. Boop. Work initially on just the reach of the top hand up. And maybe look up, but you'll see that that changes things slightly. It turns it into some bit of a balance exercise. And it just makes the stretch a bit stronger. The more you influence that back foot down, that long foot down, and the more you reach up, the stronger this is going to feel for you. If you feel ready for a bit of action, a bit more, you can lift up the back foot and just see where it takes you. Very glutey, isn't it? Give the bum cheeks a squeeze. Wonderful. Back up again. Woo. Hands down for that little cat and cow move now with the leg out to the side. Inhale, your normal head up position. Exhale, round the spine. Give yourself a breather here. Really good. So a lot of leg stuff done already. Let's bring in the arms a little bit more now. So take back the leg and let's meet in downward facing dog. Up they go, those hips, and give yourself just a little bit of a wiggle around, a little bit of time. A little movement of the ankles. The upper body straight here, away here now is getting some work done. All while you're concentrating away on the feet, the ankles, the knees. Relax the neck. Brilliant. Move it forwards into plank. We'll do a little flow here. And then lower down to the ground all the way. You can drop your knees first if you like. Take yourself down, up into little cobra. Back you go through downward dog. Pedal around the legs again. You might like to move the hips a little bit. You might like to keep it to the ankles. You might concentrate more on the knees. Spread out the fingers quite wide. Now move it forwards into plank. Decide how you get to the ground. Up into little cobra. And then back we go to downward dog. One more. So play around here once you get here. Don't forget to keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. Forwards into plank. Lower down your way. Little cobra. And then back to child's pose. And that's primarily to give your wrists a break. So in child's pose, twirl your wrists around a little bit. It doesn't make any difference at all where your head is here. So if it feels good to lie it down on the floor, do. But if you want to keep it up, do. No difference. A lot of crumbs on my mat today. I might blame a toddler for that. Now, take your hands around to the sides of your mat, just like little tiny tarantulas, fingertips on the floor. Let your head relax and start moving your shoulders around a little bit more. We're again trying to explore all movement of our shoulder blades here, all range. We're going to go into some deep thoracic rotation now in a second. So it's going to feel great if we can loosen up these shoulders just in advance of that. Brilliant. Come forwards with your body, upper body. The knees and legs stay exactly where they are. Right hand down in the center of the mat. 3, thread the needles now. Left arm reaches up, big breath in. Exhale, let's take it down and through the hole. Work at your own breath rate. So we'll get 3 of them done now. You've 3 done on one side, go straight to the other. Make sure to use the full volume of your breath, which will help get you the full space of the movement. Okay. After your third one, back away into child's pose just for a moment till everyone catches up. And then curl the toes under, and you're going to stand up at the back of the mat. Nice and gently. We're all ready now for the standing sequence, the standing section. So standing up nice and tall, wiggle around your ankles a bit, give the hands a little bit of a break. Bring your feet pretty close together to start off with. Then take that right knee up in front of your body. Hold on to it. Now we're going to do a big step forward with the right leg, as if you're heading for like warrior positions now. So huge step forward. You can always readjust. Drop down the back heel, warrior 2. Hands on the hips, and just move your hips around a little bit, and then let them kind of settle somewhere. Looking for kind of a straight line between both hips. I'm also looking for a good stretch between both inner thighs, and sometimes you have a load of stretch in one leg, not in the other. So that might mean move the back leg out, back, behind you, just like even changing it slightly can get you such more value for the position. So why not? Take your time and adjust. Little flow here now. Reverse your warrior. Inhale. And then exhale. And inhale, back you go. And exhale, forwards. Inhale, back you go. And exhale, forwards, and stay forwards. Now, hands to your heart center, pivot on the back foot. This left hand is going to come down to the floor. The right hand is going to rest on your knee joint. Lean into the floor hand, push into the right knee and turn yourself up to see the ceiling. That's a huge twist there in a high lunge position. Push into the right knee to twist you around as far as you can. Amazing. Now put 2 hands on the floor, and you're going to walk those 2 hands to the middle of your mat. Turn your feet. You're in a wide-legged forward fold now. No blocks needed. We won't be here for too long. Drop the head. Get in there to the hamstrings. 2 hamstrings, 2 adductors, inner thighs, both getting a bit of length here now. Be as low as you feel comfortable. So a lot of people would like just to hang out and relax the arms here. If you find it very hard to get your hands to the floor, you feel like you're here, just bend the knees a bit, which will bring you down a little bit further. And then you can work over time toward straightening the knees a little bit more. Drop the shoulders. Lovely. Wiggle them around. Now you're going to move your hands over to the left foot. And as you're doing that, turn the left toes to the back of the mat now. I know, God knows where the screen is now at this point, but we'll be moving into the same sequence. Pop up into warrior 2 again. But just now the difference is really your left leg's in charge. Your left leg's leading rather than the right leg. You'll go with the flow here. You'll be able to follow my voice. Back you go, reversing the warrior. Inhale. And exhale, elbow to thigh. Great. Inhale, back you go. Inhaling, back you go. So there's 3. Fantastic. Now we're bringing our hands to our heart center and we'll pivot on the back foot. Pivot. So once you've got your balance, you're moving the right hand down to the mat. Could be palm, fingertips, fists, doesn't really matter. Left hand is on the knee joint now. And you're going to push the left thigh to look up at the ceiling. So you're really using the strength now in that leg to help you rotate here. Pushing your left hand into the thigh. Strengthening the back leg, so keeping that back leg super powerful. Keep a lot of energy in it, just to help you out here. And then 2 hands to the mat and work your way back to that wide-legged forward fold. Amazing. Drop your head, drop the shoulders, let things kind of chill now here as much as you feel happy to do. And then slowly we return the hands back to the front of the mat. Turn to face the front. Lean into the hands, leg back. And we're up in downward dog again. Let's pedal the legs around and just give yourself a little releasing stretch out there, whatever way you'd like. And then slowly walk up to the front. And ease yourself up, up, up. Gently, gently, gently does it. Roll the shoulders. Something else, well done. Let's give the legs a minute and work on something with the upper body now. Just taking the hands behind your back, but once you get them behind the back, a little link of the fingers will do. Here's a slightly more advanced way now to stretch your chest in front of the shoulders. When you link your fingers, your palms and wrists are usually away from each other. So if you can push your wrists together now, it's going to progress your stretch quite a bit from the kind of more beginner version. Pull the shoulders back. And now, keeping your wrists together, try and move your hands away from your hips or your bum. So you'll get a lot farther when you break the wrists. But if you keep the wrists glued, well, you'll come feel it. Totally different experience. Stretching something completely different. Now we break. Woo, that's lovely. Just take one arm up, the other arm down by your side. Now this, you would think it's an arm stretch, but it's actually a gorgeous, very subtle lateral back stretch. So it's a tiny little sideways shift of the spine when you do this. It's gorgeous. As you slide one hand down the leg, the other arm reaches up and we breathe. So one arm sliding down toward the knee, the other arm up, and the breath here, really important. Change. Go gently and easily now. One hand is reaching up, the palm here facing in. I know you can't see that. Doesn't massively matter now. Let's try sliding. One hand down while the other one goes up. And as much as, yes, it's a waist stretch and all that, there's really defined little back stretches going on there at the spine. So you can't go wrong with that. It's lovely. Still bright outside too, which is just fantastic. Okay, come slowly out of that now. Let's take our left knee up into our hands. We balanced a little while ago on with the other side. We're just starting with this side now. Left knee into your hands. Come up nice and tall. And you know how you really do that is push into the right heel. See how that just lifts you ever so slightly. Now we're going to support lightly this knee with our opposite hand, right hand. Bring the left hand to our hip and turn. So now we're trying to move the right shoulder in front and the left shoulder behind. Well done. You're now balancing and twisting. Maybe you can reach out with the left arm. Maybe you can reach forward with the right arm. Lovely rotation. You've worked on your back rotation so much already. So that's why this is feeling so manageable. Okay, dancer's pose. Sure, we're halfway into it. Grab the back foot, same hand. Reach forward, lift the back foot up. Well done. Why not? You were already halfway there. Straighten the standing leg if you can. If the knee isn't sore, lift the upper body. Feel that in your glute. Yes, please. I hope you do. Come on down. So by glute, you know what I'm talking about. Whew. Beautiful. Great work. Let's try the other side. Grab up your knee, right knee. Fixate, gaze gently on something in the room because it will help you. Your eyes, ears really help with the balance, as you know. So if you can gaze on something steadily, it'll help. You know where to go now. It's a little turn. Try and complete the twist as far as you can before you kind of lift off with your arms. Because the arm bit is actually, that's not the challenge. The challenge is staying balanced, obviously, and having this upper body totally rotated before you go anywhere. Push into the left heel, get really tall. So you're getting a shoulder stretch here. You're working on your rotation of your spine and your obliques. You're working on your balance on one leg, your hip flexor on the other leg. I mean, pretty amazing when you think of it. Totally okay to tip over now, but just as I said it, what can you do? Let's try dancer's pose. Grabbing onto the foot, lift, lengthen and breathe. I hope you love pigeon pose. That's what's coming next. It's kind of our wind down before we get into Shavasana. We'll be in pigeon pose both sides for a while. So come on down. Oh, when you've just worked the glutes that hard, it is lovely to treat them with a little deep stretch through pigeon. So get yourself your blocks or whatever you need. Start in all fours. I'll guide you through it. Left knee or one knee will come up to your wrist. You've got to physically pick up the foot then and move it to the other side of the mat. And then move back your back foot as far as you feel kind of comfy and good. And then you're going to put in blocks, okay? Blocks if you want, a rug or a blanket or anything that just supports that floating hip. And then you lean down onto your elbows and find yourself a little comfortable spot to put your head. It can take a little while just to hit the sweet spot for yourself. When you do, really try and close the eyes and just relax into it. It's quite a deep hip stretch. If the knee ever bothers you, move your foot closer to the middle of the mat rather than out near the edge of the mat. And just be here, having a little think, having a little breath. Just slowing right back down again, because we did it was a fast enough paced session this class, so it is nice to come away from that now and to give yourself time to settle and rest. I have a really nice way to transition from this pose. You probably need to look to see this one. Just come up onto your hands, take away your block, and sit over onto your bum cheek, whatever side you were stretching. And then you move the back leg forward, so it kind of looks like that. Yeah. A little hamstring stretch is available now on that long leg if you like it. Sit up nice and tall, and then just gently lean forwards or over towards the foot. You might get the foot to the calf, toes, doesn't matter where you reach to. Just as long as you feel like, oh, there's a little stretch happening now somewhere in that leg. That can just be a nice way to transition, to change. And then easy enough to come away from that, to swing yourself back to all fours and complete your pigeon pose now on the opposite side. So knee to wrist, physically move the foot across to the other side. Back goes the back leg. And then you decide on your block height if you use them for something like this. I like them. I think they keep the back quite safe. And always make little adjustments during a pose like this. If you feel, you know what, I need to shuffle something or adjust, never feel like you're stuck in something uncomfortable. Quite a relaxing stretch. It can be so relaxing if you're, if you can get yourself into a position that is kind of kind. Sometimes if it feels like a horrible pose from the start, you might want to be out of it straight away. It's a real hip opener, a real hip stretch, so quite valuable. Well, let's ease back off it now and take that little hamstring stretch that comes easily enough from it. A little roll back. Leg comes forward, up tall to start, and then you can just guide yourself over. Now you can reach with one hand too, it doesn't really matter, just as long as you lean over enough that you feel, ah yeah, there's something there. It doesn't have to be major, you've done quite enough. So it's more just an easy way to transition and at the same time get something from it. And we ease off that, and we come to the best position of all, the Shavasana. So make yourself comfortable on your mat, warm, and I'll talk you through everything else. You just close your eyes once you get comfortable and check in, see how you feel. as you did at the start of the class, continue to use your breath here to soften your body. You have just moved, stretched, and enhanced the strength in so many different places in the body. And it'll be quite happy to have a rest now. I hope your mind is too. Imagine your inhale, your breath is your energy. Imagine it's like a white light that comes in through your nose or mouth, fills your lungs full of energy, full of light, crosses over into your bloodstream and travels as far down as the tips of your fingers and the soles of your feet with every single breath in. We're going to talk down through our body like a little body scan, section by section. I'll mention the area. All I ask of you is that you think about it. It'll naturally relax as we think about it. The right side of the body, the entire right side of the body, beginning with the right side of the face, including the muscles around the eye, the cheek, the right ear, the jaw muscles, the right side of your neck and shoulder, the right shoulder and underarm, the right upper arm, the right lower arm, the right wrist and elbow, the right hand, the thumb of the right hand, the index finger of the right hand, middle finger of the right hand, the ring finger of the right hand, the baby finger of the right hand, the back of the hand and the palm of your right hand. The right side of your waist, the right rib cage, the right side of your trunk, the right hip, the right thigh, the right knee and shin, the right calf, the right ankle joint, the right foot, the right big toe, all of the toes on the right foot, the right heel, the sole of the right foot, and we move our mind gently over to the left side of our body. The entire left side of the body. Beginning with the left side of the face, including the left ear, the muscles around the left eye, the left cheek, jaw muscles, the left side of the neck and shoulder, the left shoulder and underarm, the left upper arm bone, the left lower arm bone, the left elbow and wrist, the left hand, the left thumb, the left index finger, the left middle finger, the left ring finger, the left baby finger, the back of the left hand, and the palm of your left hand. The left waist and rib cage, the left side of the trunk of your body, the left hip, the left thigh bone, the left knee joint, the left shin and calf, the left ankle, the left foot, the big toe on the left, all of the toes on the left, the left heel, and the left sole of your foot. The entire body together, softened, relaxed, and recharging with that white light which is your breath, which is your life energy. Stay with your breath for a few moments. Noticing the energy, the light fill you. And noticing how your exhale continues to soften you. We stay with the breath for another moment or two, just refueling and almost pressing a reset button on our mind and our bodies. There is no rush to move. You are at home. You can stay in that exact same position if you would like to continue your relaxation for a little longer. But if you are ready to move, to roll, to sit, take your time and gently begin to do that now. So whether you're sitting or lying, just in your own mind, you can say the words Namaste, which just kind of connects us all these days. And well done, and thanks, and I'll see you soon.
Thanks, Orla.
Thanks. Good night. Bye-bye.
Night. Thanks, Orla. Bye-bye.
Well, bye-bye.
Take care.
Thanks.